Hello everyone, this is Super Dimensional Bun. Today I'll be reviewing Bandai's 1/100 scale high-grade shortcut change YF-19 from the OVA series Macross Plus. This kit was released in January of 2023 and retails for 3,800 yen. If you're as old as me, you've been waiting for this kit for a very long time. Like I said, the OVA series actually came out in 1994, and yeah, it took 28 years for somebody to actually make a transformable model kit. All right, so like I said, this is a shortcut change as Bandai promoted it. It's basically a parts former. There's not perfect transformation, so we have some extra parts to put this thing into the other modes. So. Yeah, when I told my daughter I was waiting 28 years for this, it kind of blew her mind. So the series was way older than her, but yeah, I mean, if you're a patient Macross fan like I was, well, I wasn't that patient, but there's multiple. Well, you finally rewarded with this kit, and it's a great kit. So, but it's not perfect, and I'll go into that in a bit. There are other kits out there like Hasegawa's 172 scale and 148 scale YF-19s, but those are non-transformable. They're only in fighter modes. Bandai has also come out. Oh, Bandai, Arcadia, Yamato have also come out with action figures of this kit or this mech, but yeah, those are in like the hundreds of dollars. So this is your budget formative Macross kit, but it is a great kit. So let's get into it. So here you can see there's quite a bit of detail in it. You got all these different panel lines and yeah, color separations. There's a lot of color separation, but the black parts on the wings are not. They actually come with stickers for that, which I should have used, but didn't like. I typically don't like to use stickers, but I'll get into that in a bit as well. You can see in the cockpit, there's a little Osamu Dyson in there. The cockpit itself is a kind of a pearly finish, has a pearly finish to it. So as you can see, I don't know if the light shows pretty well in this camera, but yeah, it's a bit rainbowy. What would have been nice is that if these red parts were, let's say, clear red, but well, I guess Bandai had to choose, so that's okay. You've got little turbines inside, which are nice. You can cover those up when you change modes. You got gun pods on mode. You got landing gears, which I didn't paint. Well, I tried painting the tires, but I got tired and just wanted to get this thing over with. There are very few gaps in the fighter mode, and that really matters. You'll see, well, yeah, you'll see in another review, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this thing comes with a lot of stickers. I used some, and I probably should have used more. But, yeah, no, but the end result is still a great kit. Yeah, let's see. One thing I guess I want to point out is the feet still look kind of large, but to tell you the truth, when you're handling it, you're looking at mostly the body of the plane and not so much the feet. The feet are pretty large, but it's forgivable. I say that, and you can also see how hollow they are too, but you probably see it better when I transform it. All right, so the landing gear you can remove by taking out these whole pieces. All right, kind of like the parts formers, sort of. All right, take those out, and you got covers for them. So let me go ahead and put those in. Alright, so you got this one piece that goes under the canopy, which is pretty hard to take out, really. I was only able to take it out because I have some putty and whatnot. Stick it in there and it'll pull it right out. But yeah, you can see there's no notches or anything to pull it out with, so it becomes a little difficult. So there's that. Unlike these, which have a little bit of a notch. Where's that last piece? There it is. Let me show you really quick. So you can see here, it's a little raised right there. So you can stick your finger in there and pop it right out. Whoa. just dropped. Ah. Slow and steady. All right. So there you go. So it's a very nice silhouette. Okay, let's get that back in place. All right. The only one other issue I guess I had with this, especially when I saw production images, is this gray part right underneath, right down there. You know, the toys, other model kits don't have a gray block there, but it's important, I guess, for this kit mainly because that is the hip joint of the whole kit. So I guess Bandai couldn't really figure a fix for that, so they just left it there. Now, the gun pod is placed. There's two spots where you can put the gun pod actually. If I can just pull this out, and I'll show you. So there's one here and one here. Now, the reason for the second one back here is, you could put the gun in here and then put the attachment for an action base right there. So let me show you. So here is the attachment for the action base. I guess you stick it. Oh, well, I have it backwards. Let's turn that around. So I'm using an Action Base 2, a Gundam Action Base 2, which it seems to fit almost all Bandai action bases. I got even the old action bases from those old Gundam Seed kits that would work as well. All right, let's pop that in and slide it. All right. So let's adjust the camera if I can. Nope. There you go. So you can see. There you go. Flight mode. Real nice. Let's get the fins there. No posability. Now I put this I guess the antenna slash rear gun upside down because it looks better on the lower profile in my opinion. But you can it really is just stick it in there, and you can just pop it right back out. It's supposed to be this way. All right, and it really sticks up too high in my opinion. So this is held pretty well together with a lot of tabs. There are tabs, tabs for the fins that go here that pop into the leg. This one keeps popping out, but it's probably just my fault. There are tabs in, I'll just take this off before it drops. Tabs under the legs that really fit the top portion of this fighter mode into the leg, so it keeps it nice and secure. That's pretty much it. So, yeah. I mean, if you like the fighter mode like I do, this is my favorite fighter in the whole Macross series, actually. Kronos is probably the YF-30, or VF-30 is probably a close second. But this is perhaps my favorite design. All right, let's go ahead and transform this to the Gerwalk mode. All right, take the gun out. Let's fold these things in, pop these tabs out. All right, it's a little precarious. So, all right, you have to pull the legs out a little. So let's get the tabs off first. Ugh, I don't want to break it. It just means more profits for Bandai, right? So here's where the tabs fit. See that line right there? It fits into this tab right there. Okay. I need to pull the leg out a little bit. There should be another one right here, but I am not getting it. Well, let me just take this off screen for a second. All right, I was able to pull out the extensions from the upper thighs. So here you got the pose it would be in, half Gerwalk, half fighter mode. You can see it's got the classic A-frame where the legs are spread apart, but also angled forward. So pretty cool. It looks really nice in this mode. So Just so this is where I was having trouble pulling it out, but now that I've done it a few times, it seems a little looser. But I also had to pull out the feet just a little bit, so they're just secured by socket and balls, and you just pull it out a little bit so then you have a little more range of motion in the feet. Okay, so let's go ahead and transform this into full Gerwalk mode. Okay, all right. Let's see. See, this part's popping out, but it's not a big deal. Squeeze that back in once I get the gun pod out. Okay, slowly wiggle it out. Caused me a little more trouble than I expected. All right. So, I'm going to try to take this top cover off. All right. Oh. Okay, don't worry about that. What is still connected? Oh. Okay, so that is connected right there. I need this piece still. And the antenna popped out. Just go ahead and there's nothing really holding it other than friction. Okay, so you got that. So this is the connector that will hold the torso into the rest of the fighter. So here is the said torso. It's partially transformed, basically the head turned around and pushed down. So you will need to fit that in here. Fit that in here. Again, the two prong will fit in these two holes. I did not mention that before. Never mind. So I can slip that in. If I can slip that in, there you go. Okay. Now it's ready to be inserted here. And there you go. Whoa. So you got Gerwalk mode. Not too bad. It's a little more angled, a little higher than I expected, or compared to the box art. I think you're supposed to put that in here. Okay. For sake of this video, I will not insert it. It's just easier to leave it off. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's pretty stable, which is really good. Legs can twist, and posability is pretty nice. I mean, you can bend forward a little more if you'd like it to. Oops. But whoa, yeah, it's probably the best Gerwalk mode I've had in a while. But I don't have the Wave 1/100 scale VF1s, so I don't know how good those are. But I do have some old ones, some old kits that don't hold up as well. This is by far the stablest, and maybe because of the huge feet, so who knows. But yeah, I mean, the wings might be a little bit of a posability issue there, but they don't, for the most part, they don't really get in the way. Yeah, but other than that, it's a pretty good Gerwalk mode. All right, let's go ahead and transform this to Battleroid. All right, I'm gonna take that piece off. So you will need the lower section here, and you just pull this out. All right, there's the ball joint that will go into the waist. So let's go and straighten out the legs and collapse them. Okay, squeeze that up. Push this up as well. Okay, same with the other one. Okay, let's fold up the wings. Let's make sure they don't get in the way. Actually, probably best if we turn them out. This is all held by friction. There's very few polycaps in this kit. The only polycaps they provided were these ball joints. Okay, everything else is friction based. Let's just tilt this a little lower. Okay, let's go ahead and take this part off. Torso, get the head, just go ahead and push that out. Turn it around. And let's get the torso section. So here's part of it and the other part. Oh, whoops, I left the shield out. So we'll talk about that in a second. So let me go ahead and insert this. Again, it has the tabs here that will go insert into these slots. Let's go ahead and push that in. All right. And then, so here's the other polycap ball. Just go ahead and attach that there. And it's pretty much ready to go. So go ahead and pop that into the waist. Okay. Almost done. Now here's that cod piece. All right, there you go. You've got your Battleroid mode. Go ahead and put on the shield, but I'll leave it off for now. It's obviously, you can see it's this one tab right here that inserts into this slot. So this is Battleroid. Of course, you know, look better if I pose it better. Put these guys aside. So it is a very good representation. Let's have some close-ups of this guy. A lot of these parts are already color separated. Very little stickers or painting necessary. Alright, this part was painted. I should have used the stickers, but I didn't have confidence in it at the time. But I may go back and do that, but I'd have to do a lot of cleanup. So you got some close-ups of the back. This is just color separated. These parts I painted black. They were actually gray. So that's up to you. Gray's not too bad for this color, for its purpose, but black is more accurate. All right. And you got some details in the feet, of course. You can see I can collapse the feet some more. I can push them in a little more. But for now, I'll just leave it at that. I guess I painted the tips of those wings. Oh yeah, and I put in the covers. Sorry, I forgot to show you guys that. They just slip right on. All right, let's go into the articulation, okay? Let's start with the head. So, of course, you got to turn 360. And I can lean back pretty well. I could, okay, so that far. Lean forward, oof, something felt loose when I did that, or clicked or something. Okay, these two shoulders are held in place by polycap balls. So there's a pig that goes straight down, and there's a polycap ball. So you can see there's some it's pretty stiff, but good range of motion. All right. Oops. Up and down a little bit. Okay, this shoulder cover does go up and down. And of course, this also is cover here. All right. Arms go about that high. Okay, you got rotation at the shoulder. Okay, the elbow, well, the elbow bends a little more than 90 degrees, so straight. And then, yeah, a little more than that. These hands are all ball joints, which are held by friction, and it's not as stiff as, let's say, a polycap ball and socket, but you know, you don't want it over stiff anyway. So there are two polycap balls for the torso. One on the top, which is coming out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's one down here, so you get a little bit of an ab crunch right there. Not bad. Squeeze it down. Never hold on to it by the middle, because there's only one peg holding that thing. I mean, I guess in a way that's a bit of articulation, even though you should keep it straight. course, the legs, you got the wings that swivel on this peg that can swivel around as well. And that's for transformation purposes mostly. All right. Okay, the leg can bend more than 90 degrees. This part, okay, so there's a peg that, well, let me just go ahead and show you guys. For one thing, there's a hinge here that you can give this guy real good splits. Okay, but yeah, all right. So if you see here, there's a notch right there. So that coincides with the notch that's in the socket right here. So this is mainly used to keep the legs straight in fighter mode. So, but you can see here it chews away a little bit at that little notch. So please be careful. Pull it out if you want, huge range of motion. You have to pull it out a little bit just so then you don't scratch up the notch. So the leg itself can go back that far, and can go, since there's no front skirt armor, it can go all the way up like so. But of course, you got to remember to be sure not to chew up that notch right there. All right. So, and the feet, depending on how far out it is, this is pretty much as far as I will pull it out. It has pretty good range of motion. You got, we can split, let's say, thus far. One thing with this is that these rear flaps kind of hit up against the feet, so kind of got some motion there. Sorry. Okay, let's reset that. So it bumps up against. It's kind of hard to really, I guess, lean back on that. But forward can bend pretty well. Side to side has some good motion right there. Okay. And did all that with the gun pod still on. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next portion. All right, so onto the accessories. You got, other than the gun pod and shield, you got, you get the, of course, the front part of the cockpit and attachment for the back part for fire mode. You also have the attachment for Gerwalk mode, the landing gear, which I pulled off earlier. All right, the attachment for the stand. And then you also get two open palms, okay, right and left hands. Whoop. Just went on the floor. Right and left hands. And a closed fist for the right hand to match the left hand. But this one, you also get a pinpoint barrier shield effect, I guess, for the fist for when it's punching. All right, so quite a bit of little accessories right there. All right, let's go on to the comparisons. So let's compare this to a 1/144 scale Gundam. All right, you can see it's a little taller than that. Then you got the 1/144 scale Fire Valkyrie from the Macross 7 series. They're both. This is a VF-19, but obviously it's shorter, smaller because it's 1/44 scale. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the 1/100 scale VF-1. This is a VF-1D. It was made more than 30 years ago, so yeah, quite a bit of difference there. I mean, it's going to be shorter because it's supposedly a smaller mech. All right, then you got the 1/100 VF2, Valkyrie 2, I guess, from the Macross 2 OVA series. Just center that for you guys. And then last but not least, you got the 1/100 scale Blaze Valkyrie. This is a VF-19 from also the. This is also from Macross 7. So you can see, even though they're the same scale, it's huge. Anyway, I originally thought that this was the correct scale, but it is not. This is the ultimate comparison. The ruler, all right? So The YF-19 comes in about a little over about 14 centimeters, while the Blaze Valkyrie is about 16 centimeters. So I'd say this is more correct. Oh, I guess there is one more comparison. So I do also have the Yamato's I'd say GNDOU for both the YF-19 and the YF-21. Little did I know that the YF-19 was actually close to a 1/100 scale. So they're about the same size. Oops, let me go ahead and center that a little more. They're about the same size, and yeah, I mean, you can see one's less, this is less detailed, and but it's a little thinner as well. So I'm eagerly awaiting the Bandai's version of the YF-21. So we will see how that goes. All right. In conclusion, let's see pros and cons. Let's go over the cons really quick. So it has some seam lines on the shoulders. Barely see them. I kind of sanded and glued and sanded most of the seam lines that really stuck out. There's one also here. There's also, well, this one you could probably still see is on the leg. It's covered up pretty well by these tail wings, whatever. One thing that's kind of glaring is this seam line right here. I'll probably end up gluing it as well. Yeah, that's one of some of the cons. Another con is the gray plastic is kind of soft. So if you're not careful, you can really eat away at the joint here because of that pin or that notch that's supposed to keep the leg in the correct position in fighter mode. Can wear away at the notch, I guess, placement in the ball joint. So something to be careful about. So what else? There is also some painting that needs to be necessary, and I really that's on my fault. I should have used stickers, but I'll go into that in a little bit. It's a little chunky. It's supposed to look more like the line art as opposed to, let's say, the metal, high metal toys essentially, which have thinner legs. But proportions are still pretty good. So anyway, let's go into the pros. I really love the visor. The emerald green, clear visor really stands out. Proportions are good, but it's highly detailed. Okay, this guy has lots of panel lines. It's has good range of motion. Let's see, you got a lot of accessories as well. Even though it's a parts former, it has a purpose. Okay, it's just to make sure that proportions look good and it's not overly complicated in the transformation. Which, even though the Blaze Valkyrie was as a parts former as well, it still has some transformation issues as well, especially in the arms. Okay, and there's huge gaps as well in fighter mode. So let's see, you get all three modes. One thing I noticed is that it looks like there's room for accessory packs, essentially, the fast packs for this kit. You got these, holes, essentially. It looks like you can attach it. There's nothing in the kit that attaches to it right now. So leads me to assume that Bandai had some other plans for this kit. You got that as well here in the shoulders. Even the arms. I mean, even though they're holding the shield, there's holes on both sides. I don't know if it was meant to hold, let's say, the arm cannon or something, but we will see. It's probably going to be a P Bandai item, so we will find out. Will I get it? I'm not really into P Bandai stuff. I can't really get it. Anyway, one big con is the price, 3,800 yen. It's not too bad if in Japanese yen and all that stuff, but in the US it's you can't find it for less than $50, maybe a little less, but about $50. And you can it's like the price of a really good master grade Gundam. So this guy was like, I think 1,500 yen when it first came out. but I guess that was like 20 years ago. But even then, it's probably even at 2,500 yen, it's still a good price, I'd say. But yeah, it's a little pricey. But if you're a hardcore fan, like I am, I guess, go for it. Yeah, recommendations. I mean, I would highly recommend this kit, especially for anyone who loves the design, loves the fighter mode. You can get battle raid modes, here and there. It's somewhat rare. I mean, of course, there's always the the high metal end Bandai kits and Arcadia toys. Those are, but they're in like over $100, or maybe close to 200 if on the secondary market. Yeah, and yeah, but put in a little work, and this kit will look fantastic. So out of 10 stars, I would say 9. Okay, it's not perfect. It has that block on the bottom of fighter mode down right here, which really stands out. But then you can ignore it if you're only looking at the top. Anyway, yeah, guys, I hope you guys found this informative. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Last pro, the stickers. So I was pleasantly surprised at how thin these stickers are. Typically, what turns me off of stickers is that if they're made out of paper, they're pretty thick. But these are actually foil stickers. They look like regular stickers and all that stuff, but when you peel them away and you see it on the other side, there's metal underneath. It's reflective, so it's a metal sticker. So like you see here on the emblems, there is there's very little thickness to it. Another good thing about these stickers is that it's not translucent. Stickers that they provided with some other kits, like the clear, I would say the clear, it comes on a clear sheet. It has kind of a flat texture to it. Those are some semi-transparent, and you can see lines underneath. This does not. So another benefit of these full stickers is that it doesn't show through. So yeah, I regret kind of not using more of these stickers earlier. But I probably will go back and make some adjustments or some fixes. So yeah, highly recommended. This took me a little over a week to build and paint and all that stuff because I painted. Anyway, but if I used the stickers more, I probably would have cut down on the time. So yeah, then again, if you're busy like I am, this is a great kit. All right, so yeah, tune in again next time, and I hope to see you guys soon.